call on Christians of the Presbyterian Church to turn out massively and register on the electoral register. What do you have to say, please?
Well, I think what the the so-called presidential majority, what they are doing now is something very normal, because as election approaches, the different political parties or different groups are making different strategies to make sure that they go into election history without any major issue. So they can whether they are collaborating, because what they are doing, the presidential majority is all the same thing like the coalition that is being created by the opposition parties. Even though the prime minister will receive this one and say this one is legitimate, maybe when the opposition will come out with their own coalition, they will claim that the coalition is not on the right track. But we all know Cameroon. We know Cameroon as it is, and we know these people know the laws and every other thing that is concerned. So as it's a very good initiative. And concerning the other one from the moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, a little registration into the electoral list is it's a human rights, of the civil rights of these Cameroonians. That Cameroonians have the right to do so, to register for this register for any election. As it is necessary. First of all, they don't only need to wait for the last minute before they register. We are supposed to register even time before the social things come in. But that notwithstanding, so at least it means sometime in some of these press releases, I always want that these people should make some precision, because I stand here like a human rights defender. What we do is that we work, so our duties are to promote rights, and do everything possible to encourage the protection of rights and not to expose rights to danger. That's why I was very specific to say that I will encourage those who are in safer zone to go ahead and register. But I cannot encourage somebody who is down there in October or is there in Manfe, knowing very well that the person goes to register elsewhere, the person is exposing their life to danger. That means I'm going against the objectives of our work. So I encourage those Cameroonians that are in a safer area to go ahead and register and exercise this right. But those who are in areas that they know very well that their security is not at stake, if they go venture to go and register, shouldn't do so for their safety, because nothing is more important than life.
Okay, nothing is more important than life. Now, let's talk about Minister Paul Atanganji, who instead called a meeting, according to so many newspapers and politicians who have lambasted him, discouraged Cameroonians from turning out massively to register on the electoral. He says registering on the electoral list is not an obligation, it's not compulsory. You can decide and you do it, or you can decide not to do it. That the social media agitation, the politicians who want to use that call and force citizens to go and register, they should be mindful of their actions.
Okay, Mr. Lasha, as I already said, that to register for the electoral things is a right. It's a human right for Cameroonians. The right is just like something that's giving you the privilege, give you the privilege to exercise a certain right or do some certain things. But it doesn't say that, the law doesn't say that it's an obligation. So with what Mr. Paul Atanganji is saying, from what I gather from what he said, saying that nobody should force another or a Cameroonian to go and register. That one is true. It's not an obligation. This one is a right. You have the right to go and register. That's why we keep encouraging Cameroonians to convince them.
Who has forced?
I don't know. Maybe it's based on its own information too. But what is clear is that
some people as panic, as being afraid that Cameroonians will register and they will not be able to contain Cameroonians. No, that is, as I keep saying, that it's the right to all Cameroonians. Everybody should go and register. All those that think that they are safe wherever they are should go ahead and register for the list. But it shouldn't be an obligation. Don't force anybody to register. Because yesterday I was watching a program on a sister TV. I saw one of the leaders of a political party lambasting Mr. Paul Atanganji, saying that normally Cameroonians are supposed to oblige to vote, but that's not the way. The law is there, and we are talking about rights of the people. The people have the right to vote. It's not an obligation. You don't have any obligation to vote. If you like, you vote. You like, don't vote. That is your right. But we encourage Cameroonians of the importance of this registering to electoral. But it's very, very important. We encourage them and tell them of the advantages that will seduce them to go ahead and register, not by forcing somebody to go and register. So I cannot say whether somebody is forcing somebody somewhere or whatsoever. But what Mr. Atanganji Paul is saying, if it is true, to the best of my knowledge, that is very true. Okay, now I have some messages coming in. Amadou Tante, this other one talking on Feka food. He who pays the piper determines the tune. He says Feka food cannot pay a coach. They need to negotiate with the state. In other countries, their federations hire and pay their coaches. This is not the case in Cameroon. Reason why Feka food and the state of Cameroon signed a convention. It is a win-win agreement. FIFA will not pay our coaches either.